This is the second part of my 5 Nights at Freddy's timeline. And this only really makes sense if you watch the first part. So you should watch those first. Fredbear's Family Diner ended up being a huge success. And William Afton was decently happy about the success. But being successful wasn't William's motive when he made the brand. He had a way darker and more insane motive. He wanted to murder children. So, he made another pizzeria, without Henry knowing. And its name was Circus Baby's Pizza World. And it starred 4 animatronics. And they were all designed off of William Afton's family. Ballora, made to look like William's wife. Circus Baby made to look like William's daughter, Elizabeth Afton. Funtime Foxy, a fox to represent his son, Michael, because his favorite character was always Foxy. And then Funtime Freddy, to represent his youngest son, CC. It's a bear because CC's best friend was always his little plush Fredbear.
He's here, he's there, he's everywhere. Who you gonna call? Psychic friend Fredbear.
We know that because of this line from Elizabeth Afton.
Daddy, just once let me go play with her. She's so pretty and shiny. Didn't you make her just for me?
And because if you look at them side by side you can see it. And Funtime Foxy and Funtime Freddy were originally supposed to be gold. But Afton decided against it. And the prototypes were left forgotten. But Afton never made them stop moving for some reason. And from years of William observing how Henry makes the robots, he learned how to build them better and way more high-tech. All of the Funtimes were built to lure and kill children. They could change their voices to lure kids. Circus Baby had a giant claw to kill the kids. And Funtime Freddy was built with an open space in his tummy. And he could store kids in there. Then when they're in there, he can just let them starve in there. Freeze them to death, cook them to death, or just stab them to death. We know about their voice changing abilities because of the blueprints. We know about Circus Baby's giant claw because we see it. And we learn about all the stuff with Freddy from the Fazbear Frights story. Count the ways. The animatronics also had these things called illusion discs. The illusion discs would dispense gas that could make people see whatever Afton wanted them to see. We know that they have them because we see it when we fix Funtime Freddy. And then I'm pretty sure they dispensed gas to make people see stuff. Because for some reason there is gas stored all over Sister Location. Then Circus Baby's Pizza World opens. And it's the most successful restaurant ever. Oh wait. Circus Baby's Pizza World closed after the first day of it opening. Because something crazy and surprising happened. Sit down for this one because this is the most surprising thing ever. And no one could ever predict this. But the animatronic made to kill children accidentally killed William's child, Elizabeth. And William was sad and surprised about this, but he couldn't let it become public knowledge, or it would shut down everything he's been working on his whole life, and he would probably go to prison for making murder robots. So he shut down the restaurant and said it was because of gas leaks. And then he buried his daughter outside in an unmarked grave in a forest near his house. But after Elizabeth died, William's wife left him. And now William was alone. Then William moved all his murder robots to an underground bunker underneath his house, which could never go wrong. But when he was in his underground bunker he saw something. Circus Baby moved. None of the animatronics were supposed to be on, so none should be moving. But Circus Baby moved, and her eyes were green now, the same color as Elizabeth's eyes. Circus Baby's eyes were supposed to be blue, and that's when William realized something. Elizabeth had possessed Circus Baby, which made William realize that if he researched and experimented with this enough, then he could create immortality. So, to experiment on this more, William reopened Circus Baby's Pizza World. But now it was a rental business, and people could rent out animatronics for birthday parties and stuff like that. And when the animatronics came back to the bunker, they would probably come back with a dead child too. Then to experiment more, William went to Fredbear's family diner, and he murdered some children. First he killed Susie. Susie came to the restaurant with her dog, but then she lost it, because William took it and killed it. Then he told Susie to follow him, so she followed him to the back room, and he killed her, and she would go on to possess Chica. Then William led Fritz to the back room and he killed him, and he would go on to possess Foxy. Then William led Jeremy and Gabriel to the back room, and he killed them, and Gabriel would go on to possess Freddy, and Jeremy would possess Bonnie. And the whole time, William was wearing a spring Bonnie suit, so the cameras wouldn't know it was him, and so he could lure kids. We know the order they died in because of the grave puzzle in Help Wanted 2. And then we know about how William killed Susie because of the high school Chica cutscenes in Ultimate Custom Night.
I told him that someone ran over his dog in front of my house. But once he's there, I'll entice him with warm cookies, lure him inside, invite him inside, and then I'll have him. And once I have him, he'll be mine forever.
Because of the cutscene from Fruity Maze. And because of the dead dog sprite in Fruity Maze. And I think that Gabriel and Jeremy died together because for some reason Bonnie and Freddy are always together, and they're besties. And then we know the names of all the kids because the graves in the FNAF 6 minigame match up with the heads in the FNAF 3 ending. And then this is when I realized something. So I saw this idea from dual process theory, and I didn't think it was true. But now I have more evidence for this, and this is the only way that the timeline would make sense. Kassidy is the crying child. Okay, that's it for the second part of the timeline. The next part will talk about why crying child has to be Kassidy. So subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you can see that come out next week. Bye 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 bye.